Yo, it's Phresh Ali, and I just killed my interview with Next Up. Y'all check it out.
Phresh Ali.
Yes, ma'am.
From Atlanta, from the east side.
From the east side, from the east side. Let's not go into all that. Hey, if you ain't from the border of Atlanta 285, look, man, I'm from the motherfucking east side, man. Like that whole side. Fuck with me. I'm from the east side.
So what is the east side? Give me the parts.
Just the eastern, the northwest, south. You know what I'm saying? The east side of the side. I'm like Decatur, Stone Mountain, in between that whole, you know, maybe east of East Atlanta. You ain't from, if the police car don't say Atlanta, you ain't from East Atlanta. You know, we get a lot of that, but niggas from the east side, Candler Road, that area. Yeah, I feel familiar.
I can dig it. What's your favorite part of the east side, though?
Favorite part?
Yeah.
My favorite part, I don't know. I spent most of my time in Stone Mountain, so I say that, like Redan area, just because I know them streets, I know those people, they show me love. I can move around real comfortable over there, so that's my favorite part. I don't know about Candler Road, getting out at the gas station and all that. It'd be an adventure. It'd be an adventure every time. It's a movie. Y'all be watching Atlanta, that show? Shout out Childish Gambino. It's like that, for real. It's like you might see like a junkie and like a pig or some shit at the gas station at the same time. It's wild. What the fuck?
That's a whole lot of random.
Yeah.
It's an experience, but it's cool.
ATL. Oh.
What made you transition into music? Because I know that you did go to school for graphic design as well.
How you know that? Nardwar? Yeah, it's just all creative. It's all creativity, really. I kind of want to go back to, you know, getting more into visual art and drawing and designing, but it was just all just being the creative, just what I feel like doing. Rap is like my channel right now. That's what I'm on. That's what I spend my time doing, my evenings in the middle of the nights doing, instead of drawing and designing. So just back and forth for me. I might like do sculptures or some shit next. Ain't no nigga doing that like from Atlanta who makes sculptures. Who you heard of? So I might make myself on some, you know what I'm saying, lightning bolt and shit.
I think that you should. That'd be
yeah, I think I will. That's good. Yeah, I think I will. Next up.
Remember,
High Museum, I'm on the way. Y'all ain't gonna be going to the club to see Phresh Ali in a couple years. Gonna be going to the High. Going to the MoMA and the LACMA in LA and shit. All that. Fuck with him. Look for that.
I was just about to ask you, where's your favorite place to view art? Where are you going?
Favorite place to view art.
It can be an art show, it can be a museum, it could be anything.
Really, probably the art shows that's in the city, man. Atlanta got, you know, a thriving art scene, a lot of dope artists here, so probably just the humble underground art shows more than like the high profile museum. That's what I like more. See some raw talent and get to meet them and talk to them.
Do you have a favorite visual artist in Atlanta?
I have a lot, man. I like that whole City of Ink crew. You know, that started from there. Like Maya Bailey and Paper Frank, Corey Davis, that whole crew. I like Freako and Chilio. It's a bunch of cats out here doing their thing. So it's quite a few. I can't think of everybody. Don't feel left out. If you watching, don't start. DM me.
I know that you're performing March 10th at the Terminus show.
Yeah, the Terminus show. It's at legendary Uptown Comedy Corner. It's like a comedy / concert type show. Something new for me. It sounded pretty dope. Shout out to Defend Atlanta, that organization. Me and the homie Westwood came together on, and he really branded it and took it somewhere. So they sponsoring the show, along with a couple other people, so it'll be dope. I'm just glad to be a part of that, you know, doing something at that legendary spot. You know, I think it'll be dope.
Speaking of Defend Atlanta, how do you feel about so many people coming in, doing their own thing, moving in, or whatever?
It's cool as long as you don't try to change it into something else, and like let us keep our roots strong. Don't be trying to say it's something else and all that. Like, it's cool. I mean, I would want to probably move to Atlanta too if I lived in buttfuck North Carolina or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, it seemed like a cool place to be, and it is. But you know, I just be hearing a lot of negative stuff about Atlanta, and it's like, yo, okay, why is that your place of choice if you know all this negative? You know what I mean? So that'd be funny. It's like, shut up and go back home. I'm gonna defend Atlanta.
What's your favorite thing about classic Atlanta?
I think it was definitely a unity. You hear about like a lot of cities fighting against each other and how it's like a crab in the bucket type of effect. The old Atlanta, whether you know, no matter what side of town you was on, niggas still come together and it won't be like a big like beef or nothing. Everybody was just doing what they do, representing their side of town, but you know, staying on their sides. But it was all love. It wasn't really a bunch of dumb shit. Niggas wanted to dance and eat and, you know, look at cars and shit.
I know that you were opened up for Snoop this summer. Or was that summer, bro?
That was January. That was this year.
I feel like that was so long ago.
Because time and social media time is like dog years. That's why, like, that was January 5th of this year, and it's March something now. So that was, and it was dope. People think like I got on that through some of my higher up connections, but that was like a straight submission. Submitted my music, they picked me, and I got to open up. Snoop, Bone, a lot of classic OG hip hoppers, Too Short, so it was pretty cool.
Did you get to meet them?
I didn't meet the main people, but I met a lot of like people who were there. I met like Lil Duval and Pinky from Friday. I met Pinky. So that was dope. You know, like people like that. A lot of the Goody Mob cats was up there. A lot of people I looked up to coming up. So they was backstage just kicking it. I met them. I couldn't get to Snoop. You know, he like, you gotta go through get to the boss and shit to meet Snoop. So shout out to Snoop, fuck with me.
Well, speaking of working with people, I know you worked with Jermaine Dupri and you did the SoSo Def tour.
Mm-hmm.
What was that experience like?
It was probably everything you would think it would be, man. It was dope. We went to 17 cities. I was like a feature on the tour. I wasn't like a main act, but just being around it, I got all the benefits from it. So it was everything. It was tired. I'm like still a little bit tired from that, and that was a while ago, a couple summers ago. But yeah, up all night, moving around, different air, different cities, different dirt, different food. It's pretty dope. I'll never forget. I should have took more pictures, but I didn't.
What's your favorite tour food? Like, I know you guys were everywhere. What did you eat that you were like, man, I want to take this home with me?
It was rough. What did I eat I wanted to take home? I was eating a bunch of bullshit, so I can't really say. Like a bunch of pizza and shit, like. But I will say one food I missed is wings, because niggas ain't got wings like Atlanta and all these other states. They got like the commercial spots, and them wings don't taste the same. So I was struggling with that. And then I don't really eat like McDonald's, and so I don't know. I was like eating snacks for like a month, straight snacks, honey buns and chips, Gatorades and shit, man, for a month. So that's my favorite tour food, snacks and munchies.
I'm not doing that.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you see some, it was a lot of Subways too. Like I don't know, this country or something, they got a lot of Subways. There's probably more Subway than McDonald's, low key. I'm like, you'd be surprised. There won't be nothing to eat, but there's a Subway.
I feel like I believe that.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
So I know that you were making music and you put out the 13th EP.
Yeah, that was actually the tape that kind of got me attention from like Jermaine Dupri. I don't know how he found it really, but he reached out to me. He was like, yo, I like this. And he was naming specific things from the project, so that's how I know he really listened to it. And then I dropped my Fake Deep album not too long after that, which got a lot of attention from me. Still is. Since then, just been dropping like singles and just working on content and stuff like that. Putting together an album is a lot. And I don't even know if y'all want an album. Y'all niggas be wanting like 1 or 2 songs and shit. Not gonna listen to 25 songs in one sitting. I don't trust the listeners enough to do that. So we'll see what happens.
I know that your recent single was episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
You put out 1, 2, and 3. Are there gonna be any more episodes?
Nah, there's no more episodes. That's lead up to an album I'm working on called East God, and I wanted to get the campaign going, get people familiar with it for when the project did drop. I wanted as many people to be aware of it as possible, so I did that with like accompanying videos and just to put it in people's mind, just to let them know it's coming. It's kind of like how you put out a mixtape before you put out an album, but I just want to do something different.
What were some of your inspirations for your album?
Some of the inspirations, I feel like I lived a whole like rap life in a sense. I never really made it big to what standards people call make it big, but that was kind of the inspiration, like just what I know, what I seen, the level of skill that I'm at right now, like that's just inspiring to show people and talk about and showcase. I know that sound like some selfish, self-centered shit, but it's all coming from me and my experiences, so that was the inspiration my past few years.
I mean, this doesn't really sound like that because it's your art.
Well, no, I thought you were gonna say, yeah, like, yo, you know, was there like some artists that inspired you, and it's not necessarily, yeah, it was in me. So, just gonna keep going.
Now, if there was something that you wish you didn't have to sacrifice along this journey, what was it?
Something that I didn't have to sacrifice.
That you look back on and be like, man, if I had known this, I would have navigated.
It's a balance. I know I started jumping out a little bit too fast when I thought I was about to blow up. Like, it happened to me like 2 or 3 times. You know, I'd be like, fuck this job or some shit like that, you know, and then, or it's that balance of real life versus being a halfway popular this and transitioning that and balancing everything. Like the money from the music, that shit coming in slow right now. It come in, but it ain't like, you know, it ain't enough to live off of like I want to. So you gotta do other shit. Then I try to get a job and I walk in the job and they like, yo, Phresh Ali, and I'm like, fuck, man, I can't work here. Automatically, so it's weird. So you sacrifice just that peace of mind of just being a regular person and not worrying about that.
Either way it goes, you're still cool though.
I
you
guess.
Still next up.
I still what?
You're already next up.
Oh, yeah, I am next up. Yeah, I've been next up for quite some time, man. Y'all need to stop sleeping on me, man. What is next up? Like, who you next? Like, what does that mean anymore? Fellas, ladies, let me know. In the comments, let me know. What does that mean? Nigga told me, you ain't on the other day. Like, explain what that means in the comments. We about to get us some comments popping. You ain't on. You on, but you ain't on. Alright. Cool. Cool.
So I read somewhere that your family's from the Bronx, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah.
So did you get some of your influence from that? Because I feel like with your music, it sounds Southern, but not so Southern, if that makes any sense.
I'm glad you peeped that because, yeah, a lot of my influence was East Coast rap. Living in Atlanta, listening to Big Pun, and it was weird, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of them cats, because I like the way they rap and I like how serious they take it and how they made it an art with words and doing things with words, but I like Southern beats and the feel, so that was kind of like a duality that I like to kind of show that comes out in the music. I'm heavily influenced by Wu-Tang and everything Rockefeller and, you know, that whole wave. So yeah, you were right. You were right. At the same time, you know, it was 3 6 Mafia and Cash Money and Organized Noise and Dungeon Family and all that too. So it's like Phresh Ali.
All in a bubble.
Mm-hmm. A bubble.
How do you protect your art?
How do I protect it?
Yeah, like, I know for me, when I'm creating things, not like I don't want nobody to steal my ideas, but I'm always on the lookout, kind of like, this is what I'm doing. What are you doing?
I kind of wanted you to, man, I noticed, like, I have to be as original as possible, as an individual as possible, because people can't take, you know, they can copy, but they can't take, like, what's the essential you and what are, you know, where is this stuff coming from. They could copy it a little bit, but you could always switch it up because you're the one who came up with it. Because I experienced that, people copying off me, but at the same time, like, it's always gonna look like you trying to match my aesthetic, because that's my aesthetic and people know that. You know, there's certain things that I do that you gonna know that's Phresh Ali or whatever. So at the end of the day, and I've been doing it for a long time, and I got date stamps and copyrights on stuff because of the internet, so you can pull it up.
Show it. So, you were on Music Moguls on BT. How was it like sharing a part of your world with everybody on this planet?
It was incredible. It was overwhelming, and when it's happening, it be hard to process. Like, as it's happening, you don't think about it till after. But it was like, not to sound corny, but it was a dream come true. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was dope, man. I was like, I didn't know what to think while it was happening. It was hard for me to answer questions, all that shit, just because a lot was going through my mind. But it was definitely like a refreshing, a breath of fresh air. Like, oh shit, I'm getting somewhere. Like, something is happening. So that was dope.
Well, speaking of having the world inside of your world, on social media, you kind of lay low, but you share like a lot, you know?
Right.
How do you balance your social media life with your reality?
Just that, laying low. I don't really, you know how people say less announcements, more action. I like to pop up when I got something to show you, which is, you know, I try to keep it consistent and not go away for too long. But I'm also not a person who, like a daily content selfie kind of guy. Like, I want to give you some content, so I'm there. I'm on social media. I see everything, but I might not be posting nothing. But I work my moves in different ways. I have conversations on social media without posting something every day, so it still works for me.
Well, with you being who you are, what can you tell us, the viewers, about yourself so that we can get on board with this Phresh Ali wave?
About me?
Yeah.
So you could get on board with the Phresh Ali wave. Man, just all I could say is, man, if you're looking for a true original, not nothing, you know, it's like that phrase, we want that old thing back. I try not to like be the old nigga and be like, yo, we want to keep it this way, but still kind of give you that classic feel that just made you comfortable. So I try to stay on that fence a lot. And at the same time, you know, if you listen to my music, man, it's such a wide range. I ain't even found my style yet, honestly, because I want to do everything. I listen to everything. I watch everything. So it's a lot coming out at the same time. It's different flows, different styles of songs. So I'm still exploring that, seeing what people like from me. People seem to like my smooth shit most, so I might do a lot more of that. But I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Just, it's like an unpredictable show or some shit. So it won't be the same thing. People, check it out. Tune in. Word.
The Adventures of Phresh Ali.
Straight up.
Tell the people your social media handles, where they can find your music, all that good stuff.
Social media, that's at Phresh Ali on everything. Twitter, Instagram. I don't think it's that on Snapchat, but you can search it. But yeah, I'm searchable on everything that you can listen to music on. Searchable. Hate to say Google me, but that's a good way, you know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff comes up, like, so you can start there, and whatever you listen to music on, type in Phresh Ali. I got a whole profile on there with a bunch of music, a bunch of dope shit. Check it out.